The Boys Season 5 Episode 3 left us with an absolutely devastating ending, with Homelander completely giving his son the classic Omni-Man treatment at the end. And I mean, whether you like Ryan's character or not, a lot of people actually hate him and wish that Homelander really did put an end to him. I'm not even joking, the amount of comments I've seen under TikTok edits of that scene of people wanting Ryan to perish was literally under almost every single edit I came across. But am I the only one who actually likes Ryan? I mean, sure, he's not the best character in The Boys, but I don't think he's completely unbearable. A lot of the criticism he gets is because he's annoying, but really all children can be annoying. That's just how it works. It's kind of like the Anakin Skywalker situation. When the prequels came out, everyone hated Hayden Christensen's performance because he portrayed Darth Vader as this sad, annoying brat. But that's exactly what he should have been doing considering his character's upbringing. And the same goes for Ryan, which leads me into my theory. Just like when Anakin Skywalker got brutally, well, not brutally beat by Obi-Wan, but brutally burned, he became something else entirely. He trained every single day to never let that situation ever happen again, evolving constantly so he could one day get his revenge on Obi-Wan Kenobi. Now, I think the same exact thing is going to happen with Ryan. I think after Ryan got his ass kicked, he's going to want nothing more than revenge on Homelander, and he's going to train right next to Butcher. Because as we've seen at the end of episode 3, when Butcher walked in and saw what happened to Ryan laying there completely bloody, he looked absolutely distraught. Like, damn, I can't believe Homelander did you like this. Kind of exactly how Palpatine saw Anakin, although Palpatine really felt kind of disappointed because now his chosen one was at less power. But anywho, I think this is going to give Butcher an even softer spot for Ryan, and now he won't lie to him anymore. And I don't think we're going to see Ryan go up against Homelander again until the absolute end of the show when the big fight really happens. And I think Ryan is going to play a huge role in trying to kill Homelander. Because even though Ryan isn't that powerful yet, well, you know, he is powerful, but not powerful enough right now to beat Homelander. We already saw what Ryan could do to him with basically no training whatsoever. He made Homelander bleed and actually put up somewhat of a fight. Now, I know Homelander was holding back, trying to give Ryan an out before actually saying, screw it, you leave me no choice, I have to beat the brakes off of you. But it still shows that Ryan can physically hurt Homelander, and that's what matters. Because imagine if that was anyone else from the Seven. I don't think they would have made Homelander bleed whatsoever. And also, I mean, Ryan is literally his son, so kind of just like Mark Grayson. I feel like the more he grows up, the more OP he will become. And also, he's literally a human hybrid, so yeah, he's kind of just like Mark Grayson. So yeah, just the sole fact that we know Ryan can hurt Homelander is a huge plus. And that's exactly why I think this beating is going to be the moment that changes Ryan forever. Not in the sense that he becomes evil, because I don't think Ryan is going to go down that route fully, kind of just like Darth Vader did, but in the sense that this is the moment where he finally loses whatever innocence he had left. Because up until this point, Ryan has kind of been stuck in the middle. He doesn't really fully belong with Butcher, and he definitely doesn't belong with Homelander either. He's basically been getting pulled into two different directions for the entire show. One side tells him to be good, and the other side tells him he was born above everyone else. So when Homelander beats him like that, I think for Ryan, it completely kills the fantasy that maybe deep down, his father actually loved him in a normal way. Because yeah, Homelander probably still does love Ryan in his own twisted way, but it's not real fatherly love. It is literally possession. It's you are mine type of love, so don't leave me. And now finally Ryan realizes that, and I think this literally changes his entire mindset. If he doesn't change his entire mindset from getting beat up by Homelander, then just honestly at this point, throw his character out the trash.
Nuke the whole generation.
And obviously that's where Butcher comes in, because I think this moment is also going to change Butcher too. For the longest time, Butcher has had this weird push and pull with Ryan, as we all know. Sometimes he cares about him, sometimes he pushes him away, sometimes he uses him as part of his revenge mission. Because I mean, that literally happened in this episode. Butcher told him to go off himself to eliminate Homelander, and yeah, we all know how that happened. But I think after episode 3, that confusion is completely done for Butcher. I think Butcher is going to fully commit to Ryan now. Just because Ryan matters to him emotionally, well, he still does, but because now he knows for a fact that Ryan is probably the best weapon they have left against Homelander. And before anyone says that's messed up, yeah, it is still messed up because this is Butcher we're talking about. He is always going to be morally cooked in some way. I feel like Butcher will never truly change. At the end of the day, he just wants to kill Homelander, and that's all he wants to do. But I think for once, it's not about just using Ryan. I actually think this could be the first time Butcher tries to build Ryan up instead of manipulating him. Like, instead of lying to him or throwing him into some plan without the full truth, I think he might finally be real with him. And another big reason I think this theory makes sense is because from a story standpoint, it would be such a waste if Ryan doesn't just come back stronger after this. Like, genuinely, what would even be the point of giving him this brutal loss if it doesn't lead back to evolution? In stories like this, when a character gets broken down that badly, it's usually because they're being rebuilt into something greater. You don't just have Homelander absolutely destroy Ryan, leave him half dead, and then have Ryan come back the exact same character. That would just kind of feel absolutely pointless. At that point, they literally should have just killed him off, literally. This kind of scene is supposed to be a turning point. It's supposed to be the moment where a character levels up mentally and physically. Not overnight, obviously, but gradually through the season, because we're only on episode 4. I mean, well, we're only on episode 3, but we're going to be going on episode 4. And that's another reason why I like Ryan's character more than most people do, because he still has a lot of room to grow. Even in the last season, he is still not finished. A lot of people judge Ryan based on what he is right now instead of looking at what the show is clearly setting him up to become. He's basically still in his early Anakin phase, where he's emotional, confused, reckless, and still trying to figure out where he belongs. But that's what makes him interesting. If he was already some ultra composed badass who always made the right decision, he would be pretty boring. The reason Ryan works is because he's messy, he screws up, and he gets manipulated. That makes sense for somebody with his upbringing. This kid has had one of the most insane childhoods imaginable. He finds out he's the son of the most dangerous man on the planet, his mother dies, Butcher is in and out of his life acting like a broken stepdad, and the world keeps trying to push him into becoming something. Of course, he's going to be unstable, and of course, he's going to be annoying sometimes. He's just a kid carrying the weight of a whole war on his back. And imagine how satisfying that would be in the finale. Homelander, the guy who has always believed Ryan would eventually come around and become just like him, gets proven completely wrong. Instead of creating a successor, he creates the person who helps bring him down. I feel like that would hit so much harder than just the boys jumping him in a random final battle. Well, not random, but in the final battle. Because then it becomes personal on every level. It's not just hero versus villain, it's also father versus son. Ryan choosing to stand against Homelander would basically be Ryan rejecting everything Homelander is. And to me, that is way more powerful than Ryan just being some side character in the final fight. And also, that'll confirm to Ryan himself that he will not become like his father. And the last reason I think this could happen is because Ryan is one of the only characters left in the show that still represents the future. Most of the other characters are already set in stone. Butcher is Butcher, Homelander is Homelander, etc, etc. These people are not changing much at this point. If anything, it's basically the end for all of them. But Ryan is different. Ryan is still being shaped. So if the show wants to make a real statement about whether someone born from evil can choose to be better, Ryan is literally the perfect character to do that through. He has Homelander's blood, Homelander's powers, and all the reason in the world to become just like him. But if after all of this, he still chooses to fight against that and become something better, then that says way more than just killing Homelander ever could. So yeah, I want to know your guys' thoughts. What do you think will happen to Ryan after this brutal beating that he got in episode 3? Will he just become completely a little baby and just completely be out of the fight? Or will he turn into something that will have everybody switch up on him and be like, wait, actually, I love Ryan?